This looks a lot like another one of our videos actually at the beginning, because what we said we were going to leave, don't do like we did. We said we were going to leave by 7. We didn't come close.
Yeah.
We made a decision last night, like, hey, this is official. We're actually headed out. We made a decision last night to spend time with the people around us, and then head out a little bit later in the morning, so we won't get to. We were gonna get to where we're going sooner, test the internet and all that, but realistically, that's not that hard to test internet. If we gotta move, I can move in the dark. We almost always get it where we're going in the dark, anyways.
Yeah. So we are. I think, like Randy said, don't do like we did, but that's.
We started at 2 like.
The dogs are both back there and they're healthy, so that's a plus. But yeah, we are not leaving straight from Virginia to Alabama. We spent the holidays with some family. Got in a lot of good quality family time.
Yeah, it looks weird with the way that we did the videos, because it'd be really weird to be doing Christmas videos right now. So we went ahead and went live-ish a couple weeks behind, but then jumped. So we jumped from there to Virginia, then back. And so it looks weird, but yeah, we're not going from Virginia to Alabama.
Yeah. But
We've actually been to 5 states since then, but not recorded. It was just drive-wise. Now that I think about it, it just sounds funny. But
yeah, no, we got some good date nights in before we headed out on our own for quite a bit. This is going to be the longest I've been away from my family in a really long time. We lived in Florida. Randy's family lived in Florida. My parents lived in Georgia, which is, a good drive, but it was still doable pretty quickly.
6 hours unless you have Mr. Peabody with you.
Yeah, but it's pretty easy. I think this is probably the only time in my life where I'm embarking on this journey and with my family and going to be away from my parents and my brother for this long. So it's weird for me at the moment. It's like this weird mix of emotions, and I'm saying this because I'm sure that there are a lot of people who are either thinking about this lifestyle or even just thinking about traveling a lot. If you're close to your family, it makes it hard. But I would say that it's going to be a great adventure, and that's one of the things that I'm focusing on. It will.
No matter what, it'll be an adventure.
It will be a great adventure because it'll be the 3 of us and our 2 pups. And I know that my parents are fully supportive, and so is Randy's family.
We're hoping everybody can get the vaccine so they can fly. Because we're traveling, yes, but like we said before, we stay in our RV. We wear a mask. We go out. We don't interact with people really that much. So we're safe for traveling. But if you're flying, it's a different story, and we don't want to risk people. So we're hoping that comes around for them soon. Everybody's safe.
We'll keep you updated on our travels. I mean, we're booked through the next couple months.
Yeah, at least into February, beginning-ish of March.
Yeah, we're booked through the next couple months, so we have some time to figure out what our next moves are. And I think we're keeping a close eye on the pandemic and making sure that we're doing everything that we feel we need to do to keep our family safe and healthy, and not put us at risk. So that's the only thing. My advice is you do you. Figure out what's best and what's safe.
Listen to science.
Listen to
Georgia roads are a little bumpy.
Honestly, it sounds silly, but look up how to do a risk assessment. Safety professionals. So my background is environmental health and safety. That was my previous job, and so risk assessments are extremely helpful. They don't tell you. They can't predict what's going to happen, but they prepare you so that you can decide, okay, I am set up for the worst case scenario, and I've trained for this, and I'm well prepared. So that's my 2 cents.
Your PSA of the day.
Yeah, like if you're nervous about traveling, if you're nervous about going out in a pandemic, even if you're nervous about going to a grocery store, do a risk assessment.
There is online ordering now if you are able to do that. Have it show up and you just go to the store and they drop it in the back and go.
Yep. And risk assessments, like I said, you can do a risk matrix. You can just Google risk matrix and you'll find a ton of things online that'll be helpful.
Matrix. I've never saw the movie, so I don't know what The Matrix is. But
Yeah. We'll discuss his lack of cinema
yeah, her
knowledge
brother and dad's named
everything.
off probably 200 movies in the past 6 months, and everyone was like, "What's that?"
Yeah. So that's my 2 cents about if you're feeling nervous, do a risk assessment. They always make me feel better, as nerdy as that sounds.
No, I mean, if she didn't do them, I don't know if we could be on the road.
Yeah.
Because like we were talking about earlier, it's kind of crazy. It was about 3 years ago this time of the year, I believe, that I started watching the videos and introduced them to her, and we started making our decision. And then it was 8 months after that, we started our channel. And then 3 months after that, we bought the RV. Then a year after that, we sold that RV by this one, a year and a half or so. And
Yeah.
here we are.
Yep. It's kind of crazy. I reached out to somebody recently who lives a minimalist lifestyle, and not that we're minimalist by any means,
We have no choice but to be borderline.
Yeah.
I'm a minimalist.
but I think one of the things that over the past 3 years, this has been a goal of ours, and part of that goal is being more intentional with our choices, being more intentional with our time, and a lot of that was downsizing so we can prepare for this lifestyle, even continually downsizing in our RV. Like, I have way too much stuff in there right now.
Yeah, we were supposed to downsize this weekend, but we opted for a different choice.
And so, I mean, we'll continually be downsizing over the next couple months. I think anybody who moves into a rig from a home will be, but
Especially after Christmas.
yeah, I can't imagine having gone from our house, what it was like 3 years ago, into an RV.
We had so much stuff that we just kept, and it made no sense. Both of us, like, why have we held on to this for like 5 years? We used it once 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
Or even things from college that were like, for me, it was like, oh, well, I might need this if I move, because I moved a lot in college. I moved to like a new apartment every year, and so it was like I just kept everything, and so I still had that stuff because I don't know, like, I guess I just never really got to the point where I wanted to order furniture.
yeah, we had put things away that, like, hey, we're going to keep this and not lose it. Like the headrest for my green F-150 I had when we got together. Like, I haven't had that thing. We got rid of it as soon as we bought the house. I mean, it's been 6 years since we've owned this thing.
Yeah.
And I found the headrest of that whenever we were going. It's like, how did I not find these yet? It was just buried in other stuff. Stuff on top of stuff. So it's funny what you'll find when you downsize. But
Yeah. So we're excited. We are finally doing what we said we wanted to do 3 years ago, and
because we've technically been full-time since July.
yeah.
But then we kind of are considering this our launch. Because we've stayed on the East Coast where we've all traveled before, and stayed right close to where we were able to come back. We made several trips back to right around the holidays, everything. So now we're headed west. She actually confirmed she has spent the night in Alabama for one night.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, oh, she's never been. I mean, I stayed there a few times, but I did not think she had. But yeah. So then we'll go to Arkansas.
And
She's never been to Arkansas,
in full
have you?
disclosure, it was on a road trip to New Orleans, and I slept in the backseat of a van with a couple of my friends while we were traveling in a rest area
She's
for
a
like
hippie.
maybe like 4 hours.
She's a hippie.
So yeah, I am. A clean hippie.
There you go.
Don't let me take that out.
Yeah. Edit.
But anyways, yeah. So I've traveled through Alabama all the way to Louisiana. And I guess we went to Texas when we were in high school.
Yeah.
But I don't really consider that like a travel to Texas. If you've ever traveled with school, that's not really travel. I used to love when my mom would come on school trips with me because she'd kind of like break me out of the school routine. And so, yeah.
Well, we were there we had to perform with the band, so
Yeah,
it wasn't like a trip. It was you got there, you had to practice doing this. So we saw a little bit of things.
yeah, I saw tornadoes for the first time.
Yeah,
and
she was
like,
freaking out because they were like 2 miles from the bus. She's like, it's coming. I was like, it's way over there.
Yeah, I was like, why are we driving on a bus while there's tornadoes? I can see tornadoes. I'm not. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Like, I'm nervous about, but we'll manage because we will stay on top of things. Is like weather.
Yeah, and if there is a tornado, even though I would know if it was safe or not, we would just pull off and stop for her sanity. because I don't think she would probably claw my eyes out, and she's not a violent person. If there was she's not violent at all, but if she saw me
that
driving,
sounds terrible.
yeah, she would not be happy with me. She does not do weather or semis.
Yeah, I do. Sir, like hurricanes don't bother me.
If you're inside a house, we ain't doing a hurricane this.
No, I mean I've been through an earthquake and I didn't really know it was happening.
Yeah, but you're kind of like Allie though when it's a storm. You're looking around, watching everything.
Yeah, I'm observant. I'm cautious. That's.
Are those tornado clouds?
I do risk assessments in my head. So.
There's a lot of us just talking. So
Yeah.
We'll,
But either way, thank you for being on this journey with us so far, and we're excited to share the country with you and take you along with us so you can see how awesome our country is and how beautiful the landscape is, and it's worth getting out there and just in your backyard and just kind of exploring.
yeah. So our videos are probably hopefully a little bit more cinematic style now that we're gonna have different scenery to show, and
Yeah.
less this talking head.
Yep.
But because I actually didn't think it was gonna last 11 minutes and some change, which I'll cut that down a little bit. But yeah, so I thought this was gonna be like a different travel video, and this kind of works out. Like a launch day video.
See you on this next adventure.
See you on our next adventure. Edit. No, we're sitting here laughing, talking about the fact that I was joking about how we left late. Time changed.
Yeah.
We kind of left on time. So if we would have left when I wanted to, we would have actually gotten to the campground too soon. Which we're not there yet, but still, it's funny.
Bless you, Augie. Yeah. Which should make for work this week to be pretty interesting, considering I have a 7, I guess now 6 a.m. meeting.
That's awesome.
Here's to life on the road.
Wait till we're in Colorado and it's a 5 a.m. meeting.
Oh,